Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video here discussing 4.2 of the speedrun, particularly 4.2b. It's a tricky screen, and so I wanted to kind of showcase some of the faster strats. So this is not a beginner tutorial or anything. This is not even really a tutorial, but more of an exploration of some of the different methods to get through this second screen, because it's one of the more tricky screens to get through in this game. It's very tough to do it as fast as possible. So here we're gonna watch some of the videos where I did it as fast as possible as I could. So obviously it's going to be able to be done with each of these different methods, probably a little bit faster, maybe a lot a bit faster. I don't know. I'm not a TAS, so I'm just a person, and I wanted to make this video discussing the times that we get through with these different methods, ish. This is about what you would get through. Now, I did record the best possible that I could do within a reasonable amount of time anyway. So this screen isn't super important for the run except for the setup. A lot of the people who are starting out in this run, they want to take that fire wheel down with them to the third screen because it makes that screen a lot easier. So this bird boost here takes you up, and you end up down here at 540 frames. So if you guys want to watch that slowly and you want to go back and look at it with the inputs there on the screen, you can slow it down and see exactly what I'm doing there with my fingers. If you want to try and replicate it, doing those boosts, I don't even know if I do them optimally. This is just the way that I found to get them done. There's probably a better way to do it. Who even knows? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a guy talking about frame counts here. All right, so let's move on to this next strat. This is what I was doing for a very long time. I'm going to try and phase this out and move on to something new. But I was taking this fire wheel down with me because I knew that there is a up flame right here that I grabbed. And doing this right here, this back and forth, it's dumb. Getting through the wall right there, it's not easy to do. I don't want to say it's like a frame perfect trick, because I think you might have more than one frame to wiggle through. But I don't even really particularly know that. So where I would end up getting through this screen the fastest as possible would be around a 526. That's as fast as possible without messing anything up. So, take that with a grain of salt, and, maybe it could be done faster like that. But this strat, I don't really recommend anyone do. It's kind of inefficient. It is faster by the other one that we just saw by 14 frames. And, I just don't really recommend anyone do this strat. I'm moving away from it myself, but I thought that we should discuss it just because it's been something that I've done for a long time. So this is the new strat that I'm going to try and do here. And so what we got to do is we got to grab this flame here. We're going to be taking that flame to kill a boss with. There is another up flame on the third screen that you can grab, but it's kind of awkward to grab, and you kind of lose frames positioning yourself in such a way to be able to grab it. So it's good to take this one with you. But notice how I slashed that guy. I don't know if it's required. You might kill him with your shield, but I just slashed to make sure we don't get killed by that guy. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna try and do this from now on here. See that slash buffer that I just did? So here we go. Let me go back here. So we're gonna act like we're doing the fastest strat here by taking this bird with us. There's a slash buffer that makes the timing good to take this boost from the bird here, like that. And we pop up on top of this platform here, and up B right there to expose and kill the bird, but we also expose a scroll. So this is a scroll I didn't know existed. I just found out today. This is actually a backup scroll from 4.1. So if you missed the first scroll in 4.1, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about if you speedrun this game, there's a scroll that you miss if you're jumping over a fire pit. And if you miss that scroll, there's like an awkward kind of movement that you can do to get a backup scroll in 4.1c. But if you don't want to do that, you can do this method and get this backup scroll here, which I think is neat. I don't know how much I would really recommend depending upon this scroll, but I just thought that it's something that I could bring up here. If you do miss that first scroll in 4.1c, you can rely on this maybe and not have to lose the frames to get that backup scroll in 4.1c. So anyway, this is here. Then we just run along that and do the backward slash to get through the wall. You can actually wiggle through that wall without the sword if you want to. And we end up at a 519. So what were we at? We were at a 526. So this is 7 frames faster than what I was doing. Probably could be done faster. Again, I don't really know how fast I could get it done. This video I just made here within the last half hour. All right. So anyway, that's pretty neat. I'm going to play it again one more time really quick just so we can look at it. If you guys ever want to try and do this, it's very tricky. There's a lot involved. But this is, this is higher end strats here. And through. Again, that's the fastest that I could get it done. So, that's ideal for me. All right, let's move on. The next strat is going to be the fastest that I could do, the absolute fastest strat for this screen. And, I'll just let it play. I don't have too much to say about it. It's very tricky. It's very, very tough to do this strat optimally. Again, we're taking that up flame. $4.99. Okay. So, I guess we will discuss that just a tiny bit here. Here's the reason that I don't use this strat. Relying on this bird right here, bird movement is very fickle in this game. They kind of trace you and mimic your movement a bit. So what'll happen is if you're moving forward, they'll be accelerating forward. And if you stop, they'll immediately kind of stop and swoop back toward you immediately. And so any minuscule minor movement changes that you make in a strat radically changes the way the bird acts. Like if you just stutter for a second longer, or what I'm trying to say is that trying to be consistent with these birds is very difficult to do. Making your movement exactly the same every single time to be able to rely on a bird, it's tough to do. So that's the reason why I don't go for this strat. And then here we have to deal with this bird again. Look at how fast I have to jump through this wall to avoid that bird coming at you. Otherwise, he'll hit you and he'll totally screw you up. So doing this as fast as possible, at least for me, it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know that I would really recommend anyone go for that strat unless you're looking for world record, or if you're trying to push yourself to the limit and see what you're capable of doing. Then for sure, try it out. And see if you can do it. But as far as throwing it in your run, I don't throw it in my run. Let's just say that. It's really, really hard to do. Try it out if you want to. And just for fun, this is the last one that we'll talk about here. It's actually the same strat that we just saw, but I did a little bit faster. The only reason that I didn't put this one in instead is because I didn't grab the up flame here on the first screen. So everything else is the same, except for I should have grabbed this up flame because we're going for optimal strats here. I walked by it, not even thinking about it. So, but this screen is the fastest that I think I've ever done, period. and we got a 494. Okay, so just to talk about the times here that we're addressing, the slowest strat, which is quite fast, at the beginning of the video was 540 frames. The next strat that I was doing is faster by 14 frames. Very difficult to do to get through that wall properly, but you can get a hold of it. And so that's 14 frames faster at a 526. The next strat was a 519, which is the new strat that I'm going to try and get into muscle memory, and it might even save you some time if you missed that first scroll in 51C. I'm sorry, 41C. So that's something to think about. If you're running this game at a high level, that backup scroll right there might be something that maybe you want to do. Who knows? And the fastest strat for this screen, which is very, very tough to do, I ranged between 499 and 494 as fast as I could do it. So that's 46 frames faster than the first strat. It is 30 frames faster than how I was doing it. That's a half a second. It is 27 frames faster than what I'm thinking about doing here now. And, we're just discussing the frames here. So those are the strats. Take a look at it. Do what you want with it. This is just a little discussion I wanted to have and showcase like different high-end strats for the screen. Anyway, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. That's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys all had a happy holiday season. Take care, be safe, and goodbye.